Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we've got not only one, not only two, but three unpackagings to do. Now this is the one I'm most excited about, so we're going to leave this one till last. So stay tuned to the end of the video and see not only what we have inside this box, but also how you can get hold of one of these if you want one as well. But let's get straight into it. Now we're going to start with this one. Something a little bit different, something that I don't often show on this channel, but I also stack old notes, old currency. So that is the side that I haven't shown that much of on this channel. I do have a fairly nice collection of old circulated currency and commemorative notes. I've actually got two that are currently away being graded as we speak. But this is something I picked up from eBay. The person that was selling this was actually a member of Stacker Social. They joined Stacker Social a couple of weeks ago and they shared some of the pieces that they had listed on their eBay store. And I wasn't in particularly a lookout for this piece, but it popped up. I thought it was a very cool piece. I love the presentation that comes with it as well. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Feel free to pause this if you'd like to read through. But this is all the information about this particular banknote, and this was Britain's first commemorative banknote. So it's from the Royal Bank of Scotland. It's a £1 note, and as you can see, it's an absolute pristine condition. Can you call it a proof note? What do you call a pristine looking note? But yeah, really cool, really nice design. And like I said, not something I was particularly on the lookout for, but I do also like to collect circulated and non-circulated currency in the form of banknotes. So that will be added to my album. I'm not actually sure what my album is. I know someone a while ago mentioned they'll be interested in seeing my collection. It might have been Jamie Frost, and I did say I would do a video on it, but I'm not actually sure where I put the folder. So yeah, once that turns up, I'll add that to it, and I will get round to doing a little video on that. So that was the first thing I picked up. Should we leave it over the back there in the video? Let's just pop it up. There we go. Now the second thing I picked up was from the same seller, and I believe it was Sandy that actually tagged me in this. He saw it. It was a little bit unusual, and he has learnt my taste in silver. I like the more unusual things, and he tagged me in it, and then I went over and I also picked this up. So these were all from the same seller, very nicely priced. I actually bought that separate. I think I brought these two first, and then I've looked through their other items and I saw the note, so that's why they all arrived separately. But this was the piece that Sandy Millington actually tagged me in on Stacker Social. Now it was actually advertised as 1 troy ounce on eBay, but it's not actually a full troy ounce. It weighs slightly less than a troy ounce, and it's actually 90% silver. But it's actually curved. It's a really cool $1 United States of America to celebrate the, I don't know, is it how many years of baseball or something like that? A commemorative coin to do with baseball, 2014. I'm not sure of the mintage figures. I'm not sure whether it is a good deal or not. I don't know very much about it. But it just really appealed to me, the fact that it was shaped with this kind of concave effect. You've got the glove on the inside, and you've got the baseball on the outside. So yeah, really cool. 90% silver, I believe, not quite an ounce of silver. But yeah, something really different. So thank you, Sandy, for tagging me in this in the first place. Really appreciate it. Something a little bit different. I'm not a sports fan really at all. But yeah, I'm always up for picking up unusual things, and I hadn't seen that up until I was tagged in it. So yeah, really cool and interesting little piece. This is actually a vintage 1 ounce bar. Let's do a little bit of a zoom for this one. This is 3/9 fine silver. It says the general. I'm guessing it's to commemorate the train. Is it 1862 to 1972? Again, not sure exactly what it commemorates, what train it is. But I do love my vintage 1 ounce bars. I've got quite a nice collection of vintage 1 ounce bars now. I've actually got a couple in the backdrop on the stand over here. Got this one here. Looks a little bit milky, but this is another vintage piece. And I've also got to hand this one here. Nice little chunky one. 1 troy ounce, 3 nines fine, serialised, silverback precious metals. So yeah, I quite like my unusual pieces. I'm not actually picking that much bullion up at the moment. I'm more focusing on the more collectible pieces, the unusual pieces, until the spot price levels out again and we see where it's going to settle. I've held back a little bit on picking up the standard Britannias and things like that, and I've just been picking up little bits and pieces along the way that stand out, that are a little bit different, something to keep the stack interesting, and also gives me things to unbox and showcase on the channel as well, because if I was just picking up standard bullion all the time, it wouldn't be very interesting for the viewers. But let's get straight into the star of the show. Now this literally arrived today. There's been a few kind of sneak peek announcements about this piece. I believe Sai did a sneak kind of peek, not really a sneak peek, but he did a bit of an announcement on his live the other day and let people know that if you're actually helping boost the server within Stacker Social, if you're a server booster, I'm not exactly sure how much it costs, but it costs X amount a month, I believe, and none of that money goes to myself or any of the founders. It literally just helps Stacker Social have more features. The number one feature that I love that the service boost feature does is it gives you your own link, your own URL link to invite people to Stacker Social. So instead of it just being discord.com/invite/loads of numbers and letters, it actually lets you put in Stacker Social. So it makes it look a lot more professional when you're sending the link to people, because a lot of people are a bit worried about clicking random links that have loads of letters and numbers, whereas if it comes through, it's a Discord invite and Stacker Social, it looks a lot more professional, it looks more legit, people are more likely to click it and get involved in the community. And also, not just that, every single Stacker Social poker chip that I have produced and sent out to people over the years, that QR code links to that actual link that I just said, the Stacker Social one. So if the server wasn't boosted on Stacker Social, then we'd actually lose that link. So all of those poker chips that I've spent lots of money and time distributing all around the world would suddenly become inactive. So yeah, as a way of saying thank you to those that are boosting the server, and I'm one of those people. I actually boost the server myself. I'm actually going to be announcing this for the very first time within that room. So this video probably won't be live to everyone straight away. It'll be live to those people that are boosting the server of Stacker Social, and it just gives them an extra day or two to be able to grab one of these before they are advertised to everyone else. But this is a 2K Privy poker chip. Now, for those of you that have already seen the announcements and picked one up maybe of the silver poker chip that Valui released earlier this year, they would have seen that it was a 70 mintage. Now 35 of those 70 have already been released, and they all had a handshake emoji on them. Now this one's very special, and this is the second batch of 70, so there's another 35 coming to complete the entire batch of 70. But the reason we have changed it up a little bit, we've changed it up a little bit in two ways. Now the first way we've changed it up a little bit is we have not put a handshake on it. We have put a cup of coffee on it, and that is because every single morning when everyone says good morning on Stacker Social, they are greeted with two emojis, a handshake emoji and a cup of coffee emoji. So the second batch of 70 poker chips for this year of 2025, they all have the cup of coffee emoji. And also this was a very special year, because not only in 2025 did we hit 1,000 members on Stacker Social, we also hit 2,000 members. So a really cool release this year, because there's actually two stages, and originally it was going to be 70 of the same design, but because we hit 2K, we decided to mix it up a little bit, make it a little bit more fun and a little bit more of a surprise. So those of you that missed out on the first batch, these ones are going to be available for sale over on Valui's website. There's going to be a limited mintage of 35 to complete, like I said, the 70 mintage. And these are actually, although they look the same size and they are actually the same diameter as the original one, they're actually slightly thinner. So they actually feel more like a poker chip in the hand. And the reason we've gone for a slightly smaller weight and not a full ounce this time is simply because the spot price of silver has rocketed this year. So we wanted to make them a little bit more affordable. So I believe these weigh in at around about 18 to 20 grams. So slightly over half a troy ounce. And like I said, it actually makes them feel a little bit better in the hand because they feel more like an actual poker chip. So yeah, we've done a few changes. We've mixed it up a little bit, keeping it fresh. I know there's some people that are going to want to grab this one as well as the one that they maybe picked up from the first batch, just so they've got a 1K and a 2K Privy. And this will actually help you be able to do that by making them a little bit cheaper as well. So yeah, really, really cool release. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Not something we've ever done up till now. Usually we keep the whole batch exactly the same. But we couldn't ignore the fact that we hit 2,000 members in Stacker Social the same year that we hit 1,000 members. So we thought it only right that we did a 2K Privy as the second release. So very, very cool piece. This one's not hallmarked. This is kind of like a prototype. I believe the other two co-founders have also got one of these. I think some of theirs have already arrived. They probably already filmed videos and you'll see them maybe even before this one. But our ones aren't hallmarked, but the one that you get will be hallmarked. So these were just produced and sent over to us to be able to showcase them. But the one that you get will be hallmarked, as is pretty much every single thing that Privy releases. So it keeps it more uniformed. But yeah, absolutely stunning piece of silver. Really, really nice. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. And if you're interested in picking one of these up, please head into Stacker Social. Like I said, the people that are helping boost the server will have first access to these. And then the only other way of getting hold of them is to be a member of Stacker Social, because that is where the link will be available to be able to pick one of these up. So thanks very much for watching. I really, really appreciate all the support. Please like, share and hype the video if it gives you the option to. I can't wait to add this to my collection of Stacker Social silver. It's really, really coming along nicely now. But yeah, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Thank you very much for all the support. Let me know what your favourite piece is out of all of these pieces I showcased. Mine for sure is this piece. I think it's really cool. And I can't wait to film a video in the future where I have it side by side with my 1K Privy mark. Really, really cool. I love that design on the back there. It's come out really, really nicely. So another fantastic job by the team over at Privy. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks to everyone that makes Stacker Social what it is. And I hope you all have a very nice day.